question or I pick a question?
She's busy.
I don't know. I'm not good at asking questions. Somebody ask a question, I'll read one.
We'll pick. Send a kiss to Brazil.
Okay. How would you say you relate to your character? Roberta, hi, I love you, miss you.
Hey, Rabiana. That was one of our hairdressers, and he was actually really why Aster Flores has such gorgeous hair this whole film.
Literally, I would always be like the first person on set, even though I'd be like the second to last scene, because poor Roberta had to, his name's Robert, but I call him Roberta. He had to curl my hair, and it was so humid and like wet out, it would just die. So then he would have to end up like recurling my whole head anyways. But shout out to Roberta and Chrissy.
During the last scene where Ellie and Aster say goodbye to each other, that day was particularly humid, and I remember Robert flying in with the curling iron.
Literally, because it was raining.
We have to get the wispy tendrils, like the really beautiful pieces around a female's hair that make her look very romantic.
Yeah, and it was raining, so then the curls would like die and get, because my hair is naturally like, this is kind of how it is naturally. It's pretty like wavy at the top, but then it kind of falls a little like straight at the bottom. But oh my gosh, the rain would make it like literally fall flat, and Roberta would be like, "Wah!" And he would come in with the hair curling iron, and you'd fix it. But sorry, we had to say hi to Rabiana.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so do you feel like you relate to Ellie?
Ellie and I relate in many different ways, given the fact that our initial instinct personality is a little different from each other, mine being a little more out there. I'm also a little older than Ellie as well. And Ellie is more being kind of withdrawn and figuring things out on her own. I do really kind of have the depth of thought that Ellie has, the way that she really, really picks through things and internalizes them. Despite being an extrovert, I really do take things like that very deeply to heart as well. And I feel like I do have a very introverted and patient, very observant side of myself that I really, really enjoy, which is a little more like in secret and more personal for me. Yeah. So it was kind of cool to be Ellie Chu, because it's like I'm being this character in public, but this is a very personal side to me, to Leah, that is normally like in private or for people that I'm very close with. But also too, just given the fact that Ellie is Asian and she is grown up in America, I feel like I can relate to that. Even though I wasn't from an immigrant family, I definitely faced some of similar challenges that she faced, kind of living in a place where the Asian community was not as large.
Okay.
Yeah. And how about you, baby?
Sorry, I didn't know if these people were trying to get into the apartment or not. I would say, I think in most ways, I hope everybody's okay. I connect with Aster a lot. I think that it works so well, and I connected even with Alice in so many aspects, because I just started like talking to her about my life and how, even when I was in high school, I kind of was also this introverted extrovert. I kind of tried to get along with everybody, but there was no real set of friends or people that I fully felt like 100% accepted by or connected to.
Totally.
Aster feels a lot, of the same thing, especially with, being around Trig and her quaddie friends who don't fully understand her. And it's not that they don't, she doesn't love them or care about them. They just don't really see the real her, I don't think. And so, yeah, I think in that sense, I do connect with Aster a lot, and that's why it was so fun to play her, because I think I was a lot of the time really just able to be myself.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
Also, too, I feel like because we connect to these roles so in depth, and we, as friends off screen, were so close, I feel like it really helped translate that on screen as well. Even though our characters didn't know each other, just having that underlying connection It's kind of like the silent connection beneath
Right.
the words that we are saying or not saying. And I feel like that helped a lot as well.
1,000%. I totally agree with that.
Thank you for being you.
I concur.
Thank you for being
Thank
you.
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 Oh my god, Speedy, no, you're gorgeous.
Oh my god.
I just miss being like that. And being stupid. We would just have like the dumbest inside jokes, but we would be just like we were crying laughing. We had a laughing fit. We could not
wait, was this
stop.
when we were getting like the not so good sushi? And we were in there being so loud, like so loud.
I forgot about
we were
that.
Like,
I wasn't even talking about that. And Daniel's like,
okay, can we stop talking about like Kalani and girl things?
Can we please just not?
He's like, okay, can you not talk about that?
We're
like, oh yeah, sorry. We just kind of went off on nonsense.
Whoops, Sally.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so
okay.
fun.
What other questions we got?
Okay. Did you? Nada. Some of these like don't make sense. Oh, whoa. Okay, was the kiss scene weird?
No.
No.
Not at all.
We're just chill, you know?
It was just like, honestly, it felt super just kind of like normal. Not that we like had kissed before, but it was just like, I don't know, it was just like comfortable, especially when you are that comfortable with somebody. Like, I mean, Leah saw me wake up in the morning in my hotel room with like my retainers in my mouth. So it was like, I wasn't really
so cute, by the way. Like, so cute.
I wasn't really worried about like having bad breath or like if she'd be like a bad kisser or if I was a bad kisser. It was just kind of like we didn't care. But since also the connection was there just as friends, it just felt super comfortable and natural. Like it didn't feel weird at all. I mean, to me, I don't know about you, but it was like
no, I totally agree.
Yeah,
I think the connection is kind of the underlying thing of it, and also when you put yourself in real life positions, like say Alexxis kissing someone in real life and Leah kissing someone in real life, tapping into those emotions while also building on top of the connection that we have, it does kind of create this very natural and complete world of like, oh, okay, like this is all very real and it's okay and it's happening in us and we're very present for it. And yeah, like also too, it wasn't like super insane. I feel like, okay, and I'm gonna stop there.
I'm just gonna stop. No, yeah, I mean,
tap on that.
Yeah, no, but if there's anything I could say about that, it just was super natural and comfortable. What?
Wait, how did you feel about slapping Paul? Question from Jenny and Milet.
Oh, you know, that was hard for me personally, just because, you know, knowing Daniel would never do anything to deserve like a slap like that, first of all.
Poor
But second
Daniel.
of all, it was also just like, not only was that like a big kind of arc that you see kind of happen in Aster, you know, something really kind of switches and you don't see that side of her, but I also had to kind of like the way it was set up was like I kind of had to try and line myself up in this church, so I had to line up to like his pew, and I didn't even look at him during the slap, and I don't know if you can see that on camera because they took the shot that was from behind, but I didn't look at Daniel when I slapped him, so I kind of had to just hope and pray each time that we did the shot that I was getting to the right spot to kind of like be able to hit his face. But I stayed looking at Ellie the whole time because it was more so a slap to Ellie than it was to Paul. I mean, physically Paul felt it, but I think emotionally Ellie felt it more than anybody, as she kind of should have. So yeah, so that slap was pretty like, it was kind of difficult to do, and poor Daniel, after each take, I just had to be like, Phoebe, are you okay? Did I hit too hard? Like, tell me if I'm hitting you
Daniel's
too hard.
like, yeah, give it your all.
He's like, no, you're fine. He's so sweet. So yeah, so that was definitely the weirdest slap I've ever had to give. I don't really, have I ever even slapped somebody before? I don't even think I've really like honestly slapped somebody before. So that was kind of a first for me in general too. So
It looked good though.
thank you.
Yeah, you really went like.
It wasn't like super hard, but it was like.
You're like, that's enough.
I'm mad.
I actually tried to do that when I was younger. I like found out this guy that I liked had a girlfriend, and I tried to like slap him, but it wasn't like hard at all. It was like it was like and I was like, oh, that didn't land the way that I thought it would.
He was like, okay.
He's like, thank you for the gentle cheek touch. I'm like, you're welcome.
Got a blast.
Say goodbye.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh, it's so good. Okay.
Wait, what were your thoughts when I slapped him but was looking at you the whole time? Like, as Ellie, like, what were your thoughts?
It was kind of a moment of like, thank God you didn't just marry Trig, but also like, ooh, we deserve that, and I'm sorry that Paul was the one to take that.
Yeah.
It was definitely a moment of like, I'm really satisfied with this situation, like mayhem, but also like, I feel like Ellie was already thinking about ways to apologize to Aster in the later scene. I don't know if people even know this too. Like, that one shot of the sun going down is some time has gone by. Like, a lot of time has gone by.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I feel like in that moment, it was like, okay, like, I'll deal with everything else later.
Yeah.
I really just felt that moment. And also, like, this was the first time that Ellie, like, came out.
Yeah. It's a big deal for her.
Yeah. And in ways, like, Aster was cool enough not to be like, what, Ellie? And, like, totally out her as well. And totally respected that kind of silent bond that they had while also still being really fizzled at
angry.
Paul.
Yeah.
Really confused and duped.
Yeah. Duped. It's my favorite word. Duped. I saw another one that I kind of liked. What was your favorite trailer snack?
Trailer?
Yeah, like in our trailers. Like, what snack would you always have in your in the trailer?
Oh, trailer snack?
I feel like you always had like trail mix or something, like some sort of nuts.
Yeah, nuts. You and those gummy worms, you guys.
Gummy bears.
Alexxis would eat these gummy bears. I'd literally text her and be like, "Hey, can I go in your bedroom and take some? Because we like shared keys." I was like,
"Oh yeah, we had
just
keys
dropping
to each
those
other's."
up. I want you to know it was me who ate the rest of the gummy bears. The green.
We had keys to each other's hotel rooms. I forgot about that. I'd be like, "Baby, I'm going into your room and I'm taking a sweatshirt. I love you. Bye."
I'm like, okay, I'll get it back. Like, just make sure you bring it back in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I always had, but not any gummy bears. They had to be either Haribo gummy bears or the what is it? Like the sour Trolley Bright crawlers. Those are my favorite gummy bears. I love candy. I'm like, but like sugary candy. Like I like chocolate, but like when I eat something like after, I always want something sugary. So I always had some sort of nasty sugar candy in my trailer at all times.
No, you actually always did though, and I was always on the receiving end of that, being like, she's not here right now, but you know, I'll take a couple bears.
Just like,
she's not gonna notice. If anything, she'd encourage me to. So you know.
I know, and we had the middle of our trailer, like you know, you kind of foresaw everything going on. So.
I remember I'd be like reading, and you're like, Lily, are you reading or sleeping? Can we talk?
I just looked up the middle.
Okay.
And if she needed some space, I'd be like, Mimi, do you want to read in quiet? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, bye.
You're like, okay, I'm going to FaceTime my mom now. I'm like, okay, sweet. Tell her I said hi.
Literally, so fun. Literally my life.
Oh my God. There was one day on set where it was a scene where Daniel/Paul hits his home run. And it was
hits his home run?
Hits his, what do you call it?
Gets a touchdown, Roster. I like gets a home run. I prefer it.
Yes, Paul hits a touchdown, home run, touchdown turnaround. And it was raining really hard that day. And Alexis and I were just sitting in the trailer, and we had like scenes to shoot that day, but it just like wasn't happening. And I remember our producer coming in and being like, "You guys, like, are you okay?" But like, yeah, like we're fine. The storm's like a raging outside. Poor Daniel's out there like running in the
Oh,
rain.
and all
He
the
did
extras.
so good. Yes, they did so
Oh,
good though.
yeah, no, he did. He handled it so well.